Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we are doing the fourth recipe from the Red Velvet Cupcake Murder. It is called Easy Fruit Pie. So, for this, you are going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. It does have the recipe and then a sub piece of the recipe. I'll explain it in a second. What you're going to need is a 1/4 cup of salted butter, half a stick, 1 cup of whole milk, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 can fruit pie filling, approximately 21 ounces by weight. It also has a sub-bit where it says, "Note from Jenny, I've made this by adding a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder and 1 teaspoon of vanilla to the batter. If I do this, I spoon a can of cherry pie filling over the top." That is the version we're going to make, just because it actually lists an exact pie filling. It does have recipe notes, a couple of them. It says, "Note from Dolores, I got this recipe from Jenny Hester, a new nurse at Doc Knight's Hospital. Jenny just told me that her great-grandmother used to make this whenever the family came over for Sunday dinner. Hannah said it's easy, so I might actually try to make it some night for Doc." Hannah's first note: this isn't really a pie, and it isn't really a cake. Even though you make it in a cake pan, it's almost like a cobbler, but not quite. I have the recipe filed under dessert. You can use any canned fruit pie filling you like. I might not bake it for company with blueberry pie filling. It tasted great, but didn't look all that appetizing. If you love blueberry and want to try it, it might work to cover the top with sweetened whipped cream or cool it before you serve it. I've tried this recipe with raspberry and peach so far. I have a feeling the lemon pie filling would be yummy, but I haven't gotten around to trying it yet. Maybe I'll try it some night when Mike comes over after work. Even if it doesn't turn out that well, he'll eat it. So, it has a Hannah's second note. The dessert is best when it's baked, cooled slightly, and served right away. Alternatively, you can bake it earlier, cut pieces to put in microwave-safe bowls, and reheat it in the microwave before you put it on the ice cream or sweetened whipped cream. Yield Easy Fruit Pie will serve 6 if you don't invite Mike and on for dinner. And then, of course, it's got the bit about the cocoa powder, the vanilla, and the cherry pie. So, with that being said, let's get started. Everything's laid out. This is everything we are going to need for this. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take your butter and put it in your pan. I cut mine up smaller, so hopefully it will melt faster. We're just going to pop this in the oven until it melts. While the butter is melting, we're going to work on our batter. So first thing, it just says to kind of put it all in and mix it up, but don't mix it up too much. So we've got the flour, the cocoa powder, the salt, and the baking soda. And I'm just going to give those a whisk. Add in the sugar. Just a little bit. And whisk that up. Make a little well in the center. That I'm going to drizzle the vanilla and the milk. We're just going to stir it in. It says lumps are okay. Just don't want to overmix it. Feels like we are at a stage. So once the butter is melted and your batter is made, you're just going to spoon it in. So the final thing we need to do with this right now is just to scoop the cherry pie filling into the cake mix, batter, pie stuff. I don't know. I get where they're going, where it's not quite a pie, because it's not. There's nothing, other than using pie filling, there's really nothing pie-ish about it. Here is our final product that'll go in the oven. It'll bake for 45 minutes to an hour. This is what came out of the oven. It's cooled for a while. Should be able to eat it now. let's give this a try. I'm going to try it first by itself, and then I'm going to try it with the ice cream. That's tasty. Now, I did put it in for 45 minutes. I'm not sure if it was because I added the chocolate or what, but it was starting to burn at about 40, so I just pulled it out. It does seem like it's cooked all the way, though, so that is a bonus. It is sweet, not too sweet. It is cakey. It's not biscuity like some cobblers, and it's obviously definitely not in the realm of crumble. I wouldn't call it pie, because like I said, the only pie thing about it is the filling, but it is very tasty. I put it with a espresso chip fudge ice cream, so it's got chocolate chunks in it as well, and it pairs very, very well with the chocolate and the cherry. It's just what I had in my freezer. Now, I mentioned that it was burning, and it's darker in some spots, but in all honesty, those are my favorite. They're crunchy. So I don't know if it's just burnt or perfect. Oh, the only notes I have for this is that definitely I would only put it in for 40 minutes. I'm not sure if it's because it is the chocolate that it burned faster, or if it just really only needed 40 minutes. But as I said, those little browner bits are delicious. So either way you go, I think this is wonderful. I enjoyed it a lot. It doesn't need the ice cream, but it makes it more decadent. It gives it a silkier bit element. But I would make this again. I would almost go buy every pie filling I could find just to see which one is the best. I absolutely love it. It was very quick. I think, in all honesty, other than it cooling, which I let it cool for like an hour and a half, probably did not need that long to cool. But it's still warm. It was delicious. You could probably, probably took me grand total an hour. You could probably have this done in an hour. So it's very quick. It's very tasty. I think it's amazing. But that being said, next week we are moving on to a coffee and cream cookie. Yeah, coffee and cream cookies next week. I am excited about that. I'm a coffeeholic, so I hope they are deliciously amazing. If you are interested in seeing them next week, join us. I hope to see you there. Bye, guys.